And I think it's the cool thing about AI, it's you can get the client very excited. It's also like, it's, like with great power comes great responsibility.
That's true. Managing expectations is as challenging as...
It's very important because, when we show this, we have to be aware that sometimes we show things that we can then put out there. We don't launch products. We don't optimize, advertising. We don't do a platform to make like banners. What we do is creative product, creative content that we can sell. So this is actually, it's a good baseline for us because it allows us to focus. Everything now we are presenting, the focus is it good enough to put out there?
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Nimble Talks. I'm Fabio, and today I'll be speaking with Alexandre Rodrigues, another Portuguese guy. Amazing. How's it going?
All good, all good.
Awesome. How's Dubai?
Getting hot now. Yeah, the winter is over.
Yeah, it's getting tougher now, right? Because of the dryness and everything.
Yeah. So it's a very hot country. In the winter, it's kind of nice. You can go outside, have dinner outside, but in the summer, it's like 50 degrees during the day, 45 in the night. You have to stay indoors all the time.
Can imagine. An ongoing challenge. Alex is a creative director at Saatchi, Dubai. He's in charge of all the AI visual content that the agency is putting out. So I'm actually really excited about having this chat. Maybe to start off, let me ask you this. This is almost like a ritual every time I have a chat with creatives. What's your AI toolbox? Which tools do you use in your daily work?
Oh, yeah. So luckily, because I have this new AI unit that it's almost like a requirement to try all the tools that are just popping every week. I use a lot of tools, but maybe like the go-to tool, it's still, ChatGPT for sure. Even to prompt images, we use ChatGPT. It's almost like a companion now. Midjourney is still something we use with a lot for image generation. Then for video, we have a lot of them. Like my favorites now are. I'm going back to Runway because with the new features, it's getting really good. Kling, still one of favorite times. Luma now, it's with the new functions, is something that we're going back. It feels like we start like it's like Runway. Runway was super cool when they came, and then Kling, Minimax, Luma, Pika, so many of those, Sora took over, and now it's getting back to Runway, and then now again, it's going back.
It's almost going back to the basics. To be honest, especially in terms of video, I don't even remember the last time I myself in my personal project, aside from the business, I don't even recall the last time that I used Runway. And back then it was like the go-to tool all the time. Nowadays, Kling for me ticks all the boxes. Plus VO2, the Google model is impressive. Yeah,
we couldn't get access yet to View 2, so the only time I tried it was through Crea. So we tried, but because it's an API in Create, it was not fantastic. So we're still waiting for like the open doors to use it. But still, because me and my team, we work like now it's full AI. So most of the work we do, like we do like even storyboard scripting, and then we generate images first, and then with these images we generate video. So we have a very specific way we want things to happen. That's why like Runway and Luma now they're coming back mostly because of this. Luma because of camera control, and Runway because now the quality went like off the roof.
Crazy. I did some tests and it's amazing.
So that's why. But this is like this week, people of my team just took a break because here it was the end of Ramadan, so it was Eid time. So we got like three days off. And so one of my members of the team just went away for a full week. When she came back was like, what happened? So now, like, we have ChatGPT with images. We have Runway, it's back. Luma, it's back. What's happening? So,
Midjourney's new model.
I can
Midjourney's
see.
new model. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nonstop. It's nonstop.
It's not stop so
I'm
fast.
really interested in collecting signatures just to send to all these companies and say,
Yeah.
come on, even if you have the functionalities available for the market, just wait, please.
Yeah.
It's almost like nonstop.
Let's just try like at least one day the other ones, and then we can come back to
Exactly,
crazy,
exactly.
crazy. Yeah.
So, maybe we can just start off with your personal experience, and then we can go through all the experiences you guys are having at Saatchi, dealing with clients, how you're incorporating AI in the whole production process. How did this happen in your case? Was it out of a hobby? Was it
Yeah. Yeah.
within your work already? Some colleague that mentioned the potential? How did
Yeah.
it happen?
It's in my case, it's more in my DNA because when I moved to Dubai, I was hired like headhunted. I was in France, in Paris, when this happened. They were looking for digital creative directors because
Mm.
they were in this need of finding someone with expertise in digital because it's booming. The clients, when I moved here, I was working one of those were a massive telco, one of the top 10 in the world called E-End. They changed the name now.
Mhm.
And they wanted to adapt to the digital era. So that's why they hired me. I started my career in digital. I pushed a lot to this to happen, and so I moved to BBDO, a traditional advertising agency, but with the focus on we need to think digital first. So
Yeah.
since I started here, I managed to understand how Dubai works. So it's like maybe the most advanced country I can't remember. I can remember. So it's they're obsessed with innovation and technology.
Yeah.
But in the other end, they don't have, the like deep know-how from a strong culture from years and years of building up this technology environment. But they're willing to put the effort. So they're hiring people to come here. They're hiring talent. They really strongly believe that the future is through innovation. They are aware of, like the world is changing. Things are changing. They won't stay stable. So if they want to still be on the top, they will have to adapt and be like on the spearhead of innovation. So this for me it was like like a paradise. So,
Yeah.
but sometimes you want this, but you're not willing to go the extra mile to put the effort to this to happen. So I've been fighting in a good way since I moved here to make sure that we go like innovation first, digital first. But it's always but we still need to do TVCs, we still need to do big productions with
Yeah.
movies. But I was always trying to push. And when I moved to Saatchi, I really found that they were willing to do this extra move. Although, of course, it's part of the Publicis group, and Publicis group is aligned. They want to be like a AI safe, savvy. So they even have this Marcel tool. It was maybe the first AIs I can't remember to
Uh-huh.
heard of in digital. So this is good because they are willing to listen to my crazy ambitions. And so since I moved here, I felt that it was a very good opportunity to put this to practice. So the moment AI was a thing, like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I was always pushing, we need to try it. We need to see the value on it. So I can even remember that we have an illustrator working on the team, still doing storyboards by hands. And then, we in a tablet, not with a
Yeah,
pen,
yeah.
but in the tablet. And, I told him, like try this. And I opened an account with Midjourney at the time. The very beginning, it was so raw, still raw. And
Yeah,
I told him, try this because it will like your work will be multiplied by 10. And this guy now, I don't think he even know how to draw now, but it's in a good way because now he was like almost not sleeping, like we need to do storyboards all the time. Now for him, it's like way more efficient.
yeah.
Now he can, like he can have a life. um, And I've been pushing for this. So the moment 11 Labs come out with the voice generation, we start doing like animatics with images that can actually, could actually be very more effective for the client to understand the idea. Then video came, so we start doing full animatics, almost pixel perfect films that it's just, it's still not very crisp and real, so we have to still shoot. And so it started like this, and I became the go-to guy every time you need to understand anything about AI on the team. And there's a lot that we need to dig, because there's so many things so many processes that are not clear enough. So what you can use, what you can't, what is ethically correct. I remember the first time I asked for a Midjourney account, an official one to use for our clients, to actually produce work that you can publish. I was very obsessed saying, like, don't use your own account, use the pro account because of copyright issues.
Of course.
The client provided to us.
I always say that. I always say that.
And I was always hammering on this, sometimes because of time concerns, you use your own account because maybe the fast hours are over on the client account. And then you have a nice key visual. And then, I have to point out, if it's not made with the client account, you have to go back all the process, redo the image, because we need to make sure that the copyright are solid. And also the awareness of don't get overwhelmed with the technology. You can't use famous landmarks. They are copyrighted. You can't use famous figures to do your personas. So it's a lot of being aware that it's still ethically, you still have to be very transparent and professional. So we have to adapt fast, but don't cut corners. You still have to do the work. And you still have to be very, very obsessed with quality, right?
I think people get really distracted by the fact that there's new tools showing up every single day. And having you, for example, in that team, just making sure that you do the checks and balances and double check whether, like, the legality issues, the privacy issues, the IP issues, it's really important. But I would say, going back to what you initially said, it's really impressive that, I mean, it's a match with your DNA. Like, being in a country that is really pro AI in terms of initiatives and promoting the technology, and also specifically at your agency. Like, the agency is really pushing forward in that direction. That's really amazing. And there's also the fact that you mentioned your colleague, the illustrator, and I think that's a really amazing example of people that work in traditional methods, in not only embracing the technology, but actually seeing value and adjusting to that technology instead of just looking at it as a threat. How do you see, so that's just an example, but how do you see in your team in specific, people embracing this technology? Are they still skeptical? Are they fully embracing, mainly because of your influence in the team?
It's a lot of work, I think. It's a mindset, In my case, I'm lucky enough, as you were saying, like Saatchi and Satchi, they have this, what they call the startup mentality. So we are part of a big group, but we want to think like we were just born, And this helps a bit because they are open and willing to share and to have this mentality. And then it's about the excitement, because you can, every time something's new happens, you can have it in two ways, right? One is it's menacing you, so it's really like a pain. You have to adapt and you have to relearn everything you knew, or you can see like a massive opportunity to shine. So the moment I was absolutely convinced, because sometimes metaverse happened and it was not like the massive success everyone was predicting. Same with NFTs. So there's a lot of technologies, they are come, but they're not mature enough. I still think that metaverse will maybe with another name.
I would say the same. Also for NFTs, I think we went through a really crazy moment. in which it was really there was a lot of speculation and everything. Now that moment has passed. Now it's the matured phase of the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe same even with AI, maybe the same is happening, but it's in a dimension I never saw it. From all my career, my entire career, I think maybe the peak of innovation, maybe not innovation, but change we all got, because digital was always a thing, was social media, right? When social media came, it changed the game. This is even like another dimension. It's like social media and digital on steroids, building a monster. So it's
really upgraded. 2.0.
Oh yeah. And we're still just on the trial phase. Every time something new is coming, it's not like mature yet, and still changing so much the game. But the cool thing, having someone that can inspire, it's like the moment this was happening, I decided to do workshops internally and showing people all the tool works and what we can do with it. And it was like first reaction, maybe it was everyone was saying, yeah, but then we do our workshop, we gather all the people, we buy pizza and we show examples, and they're like, you can do that, and just saying, don't worry, like, let's do it all together. So I open a browser and show, like, you just tell me something like, I remember like a green monster having dinner. So, and we're trying to type this and see the result, and they're like, wow. And then we try to animate this, and they're all, but it actually looks easy, and they start seeing the potential and not the menace, because they're actually looking at, okay, I can do this myself. So it's not like something that it will threaten my life. It's actually, so I think having this mentor mentality and sharing the tools and trying them, it's maybe that's what I felt the last couple of months, because they asked me a lot to do some workshop, to teach people how to work with the tools, to talk to clients how to adapt the tools. So I think the moment I show them, like, instead of saying, this will revolutionize what you're doing, this will change your game so you can be more effective, cost effective, faster, automate. When you tell them all those things, they're like, man, this is too much information. When I just show them, let me show you an example. So tell me something. And we type together and we show the result. They're like, oh, this is so
much
cool.
better. So much better to convince them.
Practical. You show them, and sometimes you prepare some cool videos for them. And instead of telling all the theoretical things, you show, for instance, like we have a nice one, and it even become like a project for Smiles. Smiles is a takeaway app, so you can actually order anything you can. This is a thing here in Dubai. Everyone orders.
So I've heard.
You want coffee, you go to the app and you ask for coffee. 10 minutes after, it's here. So we did like a small AI film using Suno for the music, Kling for the animation, and Midjourney for creating these strange characters, food characters. And we just show the client on spot, you can do this. And he said, oh my God, this is amazing. And they actually asked, okay, let's do it. So week after, we were publishing the work, like with paid media, and maybe it was the most engagement in years they have in one post,
That's the best way to pitch an idea.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, let them get to those conclusions, they will see the result and they will say, okay, if we use this, we will save on, we will optimize this and that and everything, instead of just going all in on a theory and then, and by the way, I can show you some examples. No, just show the examples straight away.
Yeah, this is what I think this is a very nice formula to convince clients. Now it's the moment. And we're doing this a lot now. It's almost, you want to see the result. Let's try to figure out what you are, what you do. So you are a car company. Okay, let me show you how you can put your car in every scenario possible. And you do a prototype. No, like even some clients of mine now, they say, do me a prototype. It's almost like a keyword, because it's something they know that even they can sell to their bosses, everyone is thinking, I know the theory, I know what you can do with ChatGPT, with to the Ghibli style, but what's in for me, for instance,
for their brand. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This brand
That's really
that
powerful.
we've been working a lot, and maybe it's the work I'm most proud of to have done for eons. They're a telco company, right? So they sell 5G and fiber, so how can you put this in an AI, so it's super difficult to explain. And when they briefed us for a new product, and we told them, your product is amazing, you're selling fiber, 1 GB fiber for every home in the UAE, so this is an amazing product. So let's use new technology to show this new project, because now we have 1 GB. Let's show the power of 1 GB for everyone. And we were lucky enough. They said, "Okay, I'll buy it, but how can you explain this to them? What can you do with AI to sell my product?" So we decided to do a full animatic prototype. So even before thinking about, we knew what we wanted. We knew that AI still not ready to do like a full-fledged, amazing film. But we told them, we'll do what we call, we have a code name for this, CGAI. So it's like...
that's a good one. That's a good one.
So it's not CGI, it's not AI,
it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid.
Yeah. So, and they were like, they like our boldness. And also we did a full animatic with AI. At the time we start using Runway because it's what was available. And we create music, we create voiceovers for all this. So we have a full-fledged animatic, and then the work started, that was maybe 6 months before production. And then we have to talk a lot, because it's normal, when you're creating something new, there's so many questions that rises, can you use this? How the end project will look? You're selling me like, El Dorado, but how can I see this? So it was a lot of preparation, a lot of research. Luckily they have money to spend, so we were lucky enough. So we found maybe like one of the best directors willing to bet on AI at the time. It was the director who worked on the Under Armour copy. Like at the time, it was like a revolution. So, awesome. And we bring him on board. He has his own team. So we went to Poland to shoot motion capture for people to have the right movement. And we knew that we wanted this CGI thing, we wanted to have something never saw before. So this look of changing images, raw footage of AI, maybe not super clean, but we can see that there's like this, some not mistakes, but AI hallucination.
Some artificiality,
exact
right?
Artificialities. Yeah. But it's still real people. So we shot real people with cameras, and it's still, we want to feel so real and smooth that we still have motion capture and a lot of 3D. So even though the concept was made full AI and everything we did on this copy was AI concepts. So new planets, we did it with AI. Spacesuits, we did it with AI. Monsters, we did it with AI. And then we replicated this with 3D, so it was like madness. Hours of
amazing.
So we have very fun times. And then we wanted to have Dubai, the UAE, represented on the film. So actually, they did the UAE in 3D, using tools to recreate the UAE. But then we said, our client has an office there, so they own a building, so they have to put the building inside. And then we didn't want to look 3D movie. So then when we have the 3D mapping of UAE, we put everything in flux to make sure that we re-edit the old 3D to look this AI crazy buildings coming and popping, but with a very specific brief. It still have to look the UAE, and our building is untouchable because it's very iconic shape with a ball on the top of it. So they have to map all the 3D to add some 3D AI buildings in the middle of the 3D buildings, and then camera movement on it. It was like madness. Every time I was speaking with the director, I was looking like the guy was like, okay, that looks good, but the team was like swearing and saying, man, this is like, okay, cancel off my weekend plans because we will have to work.
Sleepless nights involved. That's actually a great use case. I think the campaign you guys did was the reason I initially got in touch with you over LinkedIn. Because I saw it promoted on LinkedIn, not by you, by another creative, by another person. And I was like, yeah, this for me is a clear example of solid hybrid production. You don't need to do full all-in AI production, but then this is an example of how hybrid works really well. So you have real life scenarios and environments incorporated with AI layers, backgrounds, subjects, you name it. It's really really interesting. Maybe we can show for the audience the video. And I'm also showing, I also have the behind the scenes, which is as interesting as the campaign itself. Let me just screen share here so people can have a look. Really amazing work, guys.
Just when you think you've seen everything, you realize there's so much more to discover.
More.
New horizons to be unlocked.
More.
Exciting adventures calling out for you. Opening a whole new world of...
More!
That's why Neo Home Plans offers more speed, so you can experience more.
You think you can catch me?
More action. More responsive gaming.
Easy. Oh, you look cool.
More multi-screen entertainment.
All right.
More download speed. More ultra-sharp resolution. For those who always crave more, we give you more speed. Neo Home Plans. Get 1 gig speed for $3.99 dirhams.
Yep.
This is impressive. This is really, really impressive. Before we comment on the campaign itself, like some more details and everything, let me just screen share the behind the scenes, which is also really impressive.
Yeah, it's the part I like more because, you know, like you can guess what was 3D, what was AI, what was real people. And it's funny to see sometimes like it's misleading.
Yeah.
Got a mask. Who was at him? Living legend. Lethal weapon. Mastermind. Never tired. Tell them all.
Big dreams, I got big dreams since like baby. I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team. Jumping off of buildings used to be so stimulating. Now I'm reaching new heights. I'ma need the off-whites. Play with the fire, you get burned. All of my struggles became lessons well learned. I got his eyes that keep me grounded, that's for sure. Cause one day we gon' make it out this earth. Where's your worth?
I'm sick of your talking, you got the wrong one. I'm taking your king and I leave him broken. If I am in second, it's after no one. Just give me a second to let them know. I'm the headline, the deadline. I'm ahead time, the rare kind. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon, master, minor.
The king is back like prodigal. I've been gone. I gave him time, it's been too long. Time's up. Was silent calm, but now the storm is right on. I'm not the one you can't ignore.
I live in legend, lethal weapon, master, minor. Big time.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I could clearly see the smile on your face, like so proud, so proud.
Yeah, I am, and not me, the whole team, because you know, I was even remembering we went to Poland to do the motion capture, and then we knew about that those were the guy who were doing the Witcher game, so they were doing this. So it's like, and you talk to them, and they're as excited as you are, because you would think like, okay, you know, like I know this is advertising, and then, no, man, this is a crazy, amazing. Like we want to be part of it. They were, you know, they really want to go the extra mile because. there are people out there, like they obsessed to make something different, new, and this is the DNA, and it's so cool to work with these people. Like the director, actually, it's a kid. It's 25, I think, 26, but like he has this passion, man. And he really wanted to try different things, and like insisting with the team, and the team was saying, "Hey, guys, calm down, it's too much." But no, we have to have this sharp look, and we need to combine these two. So that's luckily we're lucky enough to find this kind of passion in people, like even our client was there and he was impressed and he was backing us, because sometimes the client could also say, okay, maybe it's too risky, and we still, although here they love technology, it's still a conservative country, and we are we are talking about a semi-governmental company that don't need to take risks because like they are one of the most powerful companies in the world. So when they are willing to do the extra mile because they believe in a project, they believe the future is there, and they believe they are willing to show that they can put technology to the service. It's like kind of, like you feel that everything is aligned to make it happen. So
it's the ideal type of client, I would say. Yeah. No, so, really, congratulations. We're really great job. I like the concept of CGAI. I think it's a catchy keyword.
Yeah.
Can you just explain just a little bit further the managing expectations with the client for this campaign? So as you just said, you kind of had almost like a free reign to explore different ways of doing the production. Yeah. But how was the whole experience throughout the whole production process while dealing with the client and saying, especially limitations like, we can't do this, we can do that. How was it, especially for such a big client, right?
Yeah. So again, it looks like it was really fast, but we started this project. So we released this in end of the year. We started this project in 2023. So we got a brief. The brief was it's a traditional brief. We are launching fiber. 1 GB. We are offering 1 GB fiber to everyone. Like this is our starting point. And this is like the best, like it's unique. So no one else is offering this. So it's like because it's the starting point. So if you have internet connection at home, it's 1 GB. So this is a brief. Please pitch us with some ideas. So we start thinking about lots of concepts, and one of the concepts, the one like I really was obsessed with, is like, man, this is the opportunity I was waiting to show AI, because like you're telling me, never been done before. Entertainment product. We want to we are repositioning our brand because they were in this restructuring of the brand. They wanted to not to be perceived as a telco, but a tech company. So instead of being, like telecom, it's more like something like Meta that offers products. So, and they want to be like a cutting edge technology. They were adopting AI for their own business, like for efficiency, for expanding 5G. And we were telling maybe this is the moment to do this copy. So, but we have a backup plan, like the traditional shooting with the crew. We have this, but then we insisted, and this is the moment to do this. So we start working on this copy, and because we were so in it, we pushed the most we could, like we tried the software with the image generation and video generation. We instead of selling the usual traditional storyboard with illustrations and maybe some voice over it, so we did like a full 1 minute copy with AI, and we pushed it back again. And then they were looking at this. Yeah, they look good, but can we? My product, like it's still we're selling a product. So, but so we were trying to do two things at the same time. First, we're still selling a product, so we need to make sure that we abide with what are the reason to believe, what is the advantage of the product. So it's good for gamers, so we need to have gaming. It's good for streaming, so we have to have streaming, all of those. But at the same time, we were telling them, let's try something new, like, and we have to show them examples, case studies, show what AI can do. But it then starts the questions. Okay, this looks amazing. The animatic is amazing, but it's not as good as I want, right? And it's, yeah, this is just to explain the flow, or we can do something different, or we can jump from different worlds, and keeping consistency. And then we have to start showing examples and directors. So it's that a few cases that we bring the director into the core of the idea, we find a guy that is full on this, trying AI, and then he starts, we bring on our meetings and saying, this guy can tell you actually that it's possible, because he has, okay, but I can't risk it. I need to launch this product. So we bring this team and they start working on the concept, with trying to show what kind of technology they would use, how they would shoot, explaining some. Usually, you never explain technical terms to the client, but on this case, we went into on. He was saying like, I will use a camera here, and then we will jump to 3D, and then we will move it. Everything will be
specific, AI. So specific.
Yeah, very specific. And, like the client was, and it's, wow, it's like, and, like top management, usually guys that have 10 minutes free to talk to you. And they were like, yeah, okay. And they were really engaged too. So luckily they felt excited with the idea, that was like sometimes it happens, it's not.
It's really impressive. Yeah. I would say really impressive due to different reasons. First, it's a huge company. Yeah. So it was really risky already, right? Yeah. Second, you mentioned that people in general, the way to do business, and especially in this field, might tend to be more conservative, especially because, again, it was a big company. But then what's even riskier was the fact that it was a product launch, like even riskier. So it's really impressive, and it really amazes me the fact that the client was so receptive to innovation for such an innovative product in the end, right? So I think it was a match. Yeah,
it's the perfect storm, because they're also rebranding at the same time, and they have this new concept that is go for more. So, and they want to allow people to reach their full potential. So, and the moment they're doing this, so they're restructuring everything they're thinking of, and then one idea comes to them, and they can see that, okay, so actually it's a good fit, it's almost like they can't. It's risky but exciting, and but it's not risky because actually we're changing, so the risk is
changing.
It's the
perfect timing. Perfect timing, perfect use case, everything was aligned. I think the work was really great. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're actually finishing the conversation. I would love to continue this conversation, and especially having more insights from an agency perspective, but it was really amazing to have you here, Alexandre. Any final thoughts you would like to share? Any exciting stuff you've been working on?
So we're working a ton of ideas now, because of this project, it opened me doors to create my own AI unit. So that was like a nice opportunity. So since I think end of last year, I set up a team that now it's 100% of what we do.
All in.
It's AI.
Yeah.
So now we're focusing into pitching the client with cool ideas that, it's not only video ideas, it's also how you can use AI to enhance the product, but in a creative way. So
in a creative way.
The line I draw for my team is we are creatives. We don't launch products. We don't optimize, advertising. We don't do a platform to make banners automatically. What we do is creative product, creative content that we can, sell. So this is actually, it's a good baseline for us because it allows us to focus, So everything now we are presenting the focus is it good enough to put out there? And sometimes good enough, it's not expensive. One of the latest projects we have so much fun doing, it was almost like working on spot to show the client we could do something cool, because they're working in a new project for a delivery product, and they were asking asking us, it was not even a question. It's more like, we're launching this, we have a promotion, we want to drive people to use the app. So, and we did like just a prototype that we were showing like how we could do this in a fun way with cool music, with cool vibes. And then when they saw them, it's like, man, this is genius. I want this tomorrow. So actually, like we almost show them the end product. So, and I think it's the cool thing about AI. It's you can get the client very excited. It's also like like with great power comes great responsibility.
That's true. Managing expectations is as challenging as
this is very important because like when we show this, we have to be aware that sometimes we show things that we can then put out there. It's very easy for us. For instance, we like using Studio Ghibli to make like a cool visual.
For example,
like, this is copyrighted content, so you can't use somebody else's work. And personally, you can, because like it's the OpenAI problem, because they gather the data to give us this product is their problem. But as a company, right? You have ethics. You have you know what copyright is because you have your own copyright. So you're not willing to risk it. So you have to be sure that when you present something to the client, to tell him what's the barrier, what's the line. Because now what I do with my team when we're presenting, it's like we show amazing stuff, and at the end we say we use those kind of subscription, those kind of AI, and just be mindful or aware that this was made with Suno, that it's a music AI.
It's amazing.
So on the very beginning, we have a lot of concerns using this because of the Sony process on this, but at least for now, from what I am aware, it's not like it didn't build a case, so we can use it. But it's like half my time is talking to people about legalities, talking to people about terms and conditions, and whether we can use it or not. Be aware that we are part of a bigger group, so it's not like it's not I can just put out there the work and not abide by company regulation. So there's a lot of things, and this is the tricky part, because we can easily, go the easy way and do like, I don't know, it's, for instance, a very easy thing that nowadays you can do. So you are doing a film, right? You have actors, you have voiceover, you have music. And if something goes wrong because the product changed, and the actor has to say something different, man, with AI, you can do it in a click, right? So you can just change the voice, change the lip sync.
Indeed.
You can change to say, oh, we can't say leather anymore. We have to say, I don't know, fabric. Okay, I can do it, but am I allowed to do it? Do you have the permission of the music company? Do you have the permission of the actor to change his voice? There's so many things. You have to be aware of this, because it's not because it's easy that you have to do it. It's like it's like Googling an image and using this image to your own project. It's wrong, and you can't do this. But you could, but you won't do it. You need to know that, and you need to make the client aware of this. So this is like a lot of
that's why it's important to have you on the team, just to manage expectation and say, hey, these are the limits, these are the limitations. Alex, thank you so much. It was a really cool chat we had. Good luck with the upcoming projects. You guys have been doing really amazing stuff, and yeah, that's it, everyone. Until next time, have a good one.